Well, cycling advocates are calling on Mayor Brandon Johnson to appoint a new CDOT commissioner who doesn't just look at motor vehicles for transportation, but also someone who looks at making streets safer for cyclists as well as pedestrians. And it comes as two recent studies found Chicago kind of in the middle of the pack when it comes to bikeability. Well, Better Streets Chicago co-founder Kyle Lucas is joining us now to talk about ways to improve the city's streets. So thank you very much for being with us. We've brought a lot of stories on and show the ghost bikes across the city where a cyclist has lost his or her life here. These reports point to what factors that make Chicago a city that needs to improve.
Yeah, these reports, come out somewhat annually and, highlight a lot of different aspects about our cities. Whether or not the rankings are accurate, it can be up for question. But one thing that's for certain is that in Chicago, we have a long way to go to actually be protecting both cyclists and pedestrians in our city. We're seeing record levels of deaths in the city. So there's a lot that we need to do to improve on.
Some of the things the reports look at: not enough trails, not enough bike shops, and too many streets with speed limits that are at or above 30 miles an hour. But it also takes into account things like weather. Some things you can control, some things you don't. So what are you doing to sort of control what is in your power to?
In our view, the biggest thing that we can control is our infrastructure and ensuring that it is safe for cyclists and pedestrians and really anyone who's using our streets. A lot of Chicago's streets are designed really big and wide to move as many cars as possible with very little protection for pedestrians and cyclists, the most vulnerable users. So in our view, creating more protection, real concrete barriers, not just along the street, but at intersections would go a long way to improve our safety here.
Milwaukee Avenue is one that comes to mind, right? The busiest bike corridor in the city. Minneapolis came in first in at least one of these lists. Portland, San Francisco. What are they doing better? I mean, you talk about the wide passage. I mean, that's got to be a big part of it.
Yeah, these are cities who have had real tangible plans for a while and have been working to really build out full networks. In Chicago, we call ourselves having a network of bike lanes, but they're really anything but. They're disconnected. They often disappear across ward lines. So a lot of it comes down to whether or not your alderperson is really on board with getting something done. What we're pushing for is for a more citywide approach, real vision from the top to be able to actually build out what's really a network and connecting our communities together safely.
So you see it as sort of a patchwork that needs to be unified.
Absolutely.
And hopefully Mayor Brandon Johnson will be able to tackle this. So there are, though, a lot of good points because Chicago does fare pretty well compared to a lot of other cities. What were some of the positives that you would point to that are good?
I would say one of the really recent projects that just came out is a great example of what's possible over on Augusta Avenue. They did something as simple as switching where the bike lanes and the parking was, flip them around, and that creates a real protection for cyclists. I recently had the opportunity to bike down there. It's one of the safest experiences biking in Chicago I've ever had. There are real pinch points still at intersections where they're failing to do protection. I think that the city can do a lot more to focus on making intersections safer, but that's a step in the right direction. So we can use that as a model for other places.
The CDOT Commissioner, Gia Biaggi, left the office, and now there is a new appointment and a new opportunity for a new leader. How are you leveraging the power of your voice to make sure that that bikeability is something that is front and center as the city of Chicago moves forward?
We're really thankful for Gia Biaggi's leadership in starting to make some of those efforts to changing the tide and how the city works. What we're asking for Mayor Brandon Johnson is for a leader who's really visionary and collaborative with communities. It's been a long, contentious relationship between the department and communities and advocates. So we're really asking for the mayor to carefully consider his next appointment. We sent a letter to him alongside 15 other organizations, some really grassroots, some who have been a longstanding voice in the city on these issues, really with a united voice on what we're looking to see in the next CDOT commissioner.
Kyle Lucas with Better Streets Chicago. Thanks for keeping at it, and thanks for being with us tonight.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, take care.